pretentious vase been lurking before you brought it along today?
Well, it's been at our loft, we've been cleaning out our loft, and we came across as we were going to bin it. We thought it was just a heap of junk.
Yeah.
So we were going to bin it, and then we thought, no, we'll hold on to it, because we heard the Antique Roadshow was coming here.
Okay.
And that's who we've held on to it. We actually bought it at a car boot.
Yeah.
And it had like plant inside it, a kind of purple plant.
Mm-hmm.
That was the reason we bought it, for the plant, because it was quite nice in the bowl.
Yeah. So you're not emotionally attached to this at all, are you? I can tell.
No.
No?
No.
Well, do you know who made it? I mean,
No, I don't know anything
oh,
about
right.
it.
Well, can I tell you?
Yes.
Okay. Because if you look very carefully, there's actually a name on it. And the name is sort of lurking behind here. We'll turn it round. And that name is Lalique. And so, have you heard of Lalique?
Lalique?
Lalique? No? Okay. Well, you're on a rapid learning curve today, aren't you? Well, let me tell you about René Lalique. He started off life as a jeweller, and he became France's premier jeweller during the sort of 1890s, 1900 period, in the grand days of the Art Nouveau style. And then he turns his attention in around about 1900, 1910 to glassmaking. And he became probably the #1 commercial glassmaker of the entire 20th century. So he's got quite a good pedigree. And there's lots of different types of Lalique glass. Yours is that little bit different. Now and then you get something called a serre perdue, or a lost wax process. And this is a candidate, because this originally would have been made in wax. The idea being that once you modelled it in wax, you would then encase it using a liquid sort of fireclay slip, which would then set hard around it. So hard, in actual fact, that what would happen is, once it had set solid, you would bore a hole into it, straight through to the wax, and then you would put it and heat it in an oven, and all the wax would drip out, leaving a void inside, into which you would then pour molten glass, which would then fill the void. Now, once you've done that, the only way you're going to get it out is to break the mold. So that means that a serre perdue piece, or a lost wax process, is a unique piece. So there's only one of these, whereas you might get several hundred, and in certain cases thousands, of his other designs. So that makes it that little bit more special. Date-wise, I suppose you could be anywhere around about 1920 to maybe 1935. So car boot.
Yes.
For plant. How much were they asking for the plant?
We only paid £1. Well, a pound.
You paid
the
a pound.
vase and the plant.
You paid a pound, right. Okay. You know, and the questions I get asked about this program, do you know the first question people ask me? They say, have you ever broken anything on the Antiques Roadshow? That's the most familiar question I get. Anyway, the other question is, you know, what's the most expensive thing you've ever had on the Antiques Roadshow? Well, I remember it was probably in Grimsby about 15 years ago, and there's a great big huge French jardiniere. That was Grimsby then, but I've got to tell you now that as of today, I think it might be this, because this is worth, well, it's worth a mere 20,000. Of clouds over it. I can honestly